Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I hope we should start from integration only,
Yes, sir.
or else any new thing is coming to your mind. Because in the last class of mine, we started introduction of the integration, and after introducing, I was supposed to give my lecture on integration by substitution. Okay, so if you are all ready for the same thing, we can start with that integration by substitution.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So when we try to go for integration by substitution, okay, first of all, why is substitution needed? Why is substitution needed? And what should be substitution? What should be substitution? And how does substitution work? Okay, these three most important questions are there. Okay, so when any child wanted to learn something about integration by using the substitution, child must know why is substitution needed. Okay, say if we are able to perform some specific work with very easy methods. Okay, suppose there is a nut and bolt which you are holding in your hand, and if you wanted to tighten the bolt, okay, so you can tight. There is one extent up to which you can even tight the nut and bolt with your hands also, correct? But after that particular stage, when nut is not getting more tight with your manual hands, okay, or with manual activities, then do we require spinners and other things to tight it up to more extent. Okay, so you see what happens, exactly same thing happens with the substitution also. Okay, first of all, as integration is inverse process to differentiation. Okay, so this we already have studied that integration is the inverse process for differentiation, and in that case, now when we wanted to eliminate the effect of differentiation, then we are required to go for integration. Just for example, if I differentiate the function like sine inverse x, I get the answer like 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square. Means I am getting 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square if I differentiate sine inverse x. Okay. So to remove this particular effect, if we integrate this function 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square, and now see that the differentiation was taking place with respect to variable x. So to remove the effect of differentiation, this integration also should be taking place with respect to the same variable x. Okay. So when we integrate this function 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square with respect to the variable x, we get the quantity like sine inverse x, and it is customary to add the constant of integration. So in my last class, I already have shown you how to add the constant of integration and why should we add the constant of integration. This was also the matter of our discussion. We discussed that thing, okay, that why constant of integration is added. So now it is customary, we shall be always adding the constant of integration over here after integrating any function. Now I would like to draw your attention for this. Why is substitution needed? Okay. See, basically this process of integration, what we consider as antiderivative procedure, when we differentiated the function, you see that which type of function is being differentiated. This is only the function of x. Let me write this is a function of x. Function of x. And you must be knowing that there is a difference between function of x. Are you understanding? Say function of x, that means only one operation is performed. Only one operation is performed on variable x. Okay, for example, on this variable x, we perform only one operation, that is sine inverse operation. Means only one operation was performed. For example, if I take the variable x and I square it, that is only one mathematical operation is performed. For example, variable x is taken, but I have performed the operation of taking log. So this is only one operation which I have performed. So all these functions which are generated, or all these outputs what I am getting, those outputs are called function of x. Correct? But try to understand the difference between function of x. That means what is happening, that we are going to get the function. Means for this function you can imagine one mathematical operation, but this mathematical operation should be performed on whom? On function of x itself. Try to see that. Suppose I take variable x and I perform the operation like log. Okay, so when log function is operated on this, what is the output what I am going to get? The output what I am going to get is log x. Correct? But now suppose if I operate one more time log function. If I operate one more time log function to this output. So now you tell me what will be the output? Output will be log of log x. Output will be log of input. Input is log x. So log of log x. So this type of functions what we are getting, those functions are called functions of function. There is a difference. Here number of variables is only one, but number of operations performed on that variable are more than one. Likewise, this function sine inverse of x, variable was one and exactly one operation was performed on that. Okay, so it is called function of x. I hope difference between function of x and function of x, that's quite clear to you. If you could see, there is only one variable and on that variable more than one mathematical operations are performed, then result will be always function of function. So first scenario I would like to discuss with you all. What happens when we try to integrate the function of function? Okay, what happens when we try to integrate function of a function? So as a solution also, means this situation I have created for you, that how to integrate function of a function, because integration of normal functions, is known to all of us. We are knowing all the formula of integration of function of x. Say, let me make the list of functions also for you. You should know the integration of sin x. Integration of sin x is equal to minus cos x plus c. So here you see that you integrated the function of x. This is function of x, correct? And you integrated that, and answer what you are going to get is minus of cos x. Okay. Likewise, if you are getting the integration of e to the power x done with respect to x, then you are getting the answer is equal to e to the power x plus c. Correct? But now tell me one thing, what is going to happen when we try to integrate sine 2x dx? Okay? And here only we are required to think little bit differently. Why it is so? Because say this was a standard case when integration is considered as anti-derivative procedure. And derivative of whom? Derivative of such a function which was function of x only. Okay, means when we differentiated some function of x, anti-derivative could be applied only to that answer. For example, if I differentiate cos x, so derivative of function of x that was done, and we got answer is equal to minus sin x, correct? And to remove this derivative, if we try to integrate minus sin x dx, how did we get minus sin x? That was the result of differentiation. So when we wanted to remove this effect of differentiation, we are required to perform this anti-derivative procedure. So this anti-derivative procedure, it is performed on both the sides of the equation. Okay, and if both the sides of equation that anti-derivative procedure is performed, so here integration as an anti-derivative will remove this d by dx, and you are left with the answer equal to cos x. And as I said that it is customary for you to add the constant of integration, so we are going to write down this cos x plus c, and this minus sign what I am writing, if I multiply both the sides by minus sign, I will be able to get minus sign multiplied over here also. So I am getting integration of sin x dx is equal to minus cos x, and numerically this constant of integration, it is positive or negative. Since we are not knowing the numerical value of that, so it does not make any difference that the constant of integration you are writing with plus c sign or else minus c sign. Okay, but it is customary to make the positive sign. Okay, so we are writing that. So you could see that this minus cos x, we got the answer of integration of sin x, and this standard procedure, it is operated on the function of x only. The process of differentiation also, it was performed on a function of x, as well as the process of integration also is performed on the function of x. And now you see that this sin 2x, this is not the function of x, it is something different. Okay, I just take one example. Okay, that suppose somebody fell sick, and after falling sick, there is some dietary restrictions imposed by the doctor. Say for example, you are all aware that nowadays sugar patients, they are increasing in number. Okay, that means the quantum or magnitude of or quantity of sugar in the blood, that particular level is day by day increasing. So if the sugar level is increasing, then doctors do advise that you should regulate your diet. Okay, means for having a very specific problem, we are required to keep our diet in control. Okay, means in a very specific situation, our way of taking that situation or handling that situation, it becomes very, very particular. Same thing is applicable over here. If we are integrating the function of a function, this is a very particular situation, and this is not to be dealt in the normal way. It's not to be dealt with a normal situation. So we are now required to understand one small thing. Okay, what is that function? Whose differentiation comes sin 2x. Okay, whose differentiation comes sin 2x. Okay, and now say it's a little bit difficult for us to go for thinking of such function whose derivative is equal to sin 2x. Correct? So to deal with this type of situation, then we are required to go for integration of substitution. Correct? So first situation what I am putting across you is to integrate the function of function, we are making use of integration by substitution. Correct? So that, let me write this function of function, and what is the procedure that, say first case 1, to integrate function of function. This is the first scenario in which the integration by parts will be utilized. Okay. I hope students you are listening to me and you are getting all the things properly.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The moment you feel any kind of disturbance, may it be the disturbance in audio or may it be the disturbance in video, at least your responses you should give me. Okay, because I am near the board, means I am opposite side of the screen of my mobile right now. I cannot check your movements. I cannot check whether all of you are in the class or not. Okay, so but please let me feel your presence in the classroom. Okay. Wherever you are having any doubt, please raise the question freely. Okay. So case one, what I said, to integrate function of a function, we are making use of that process, integration by substitution. Case two, when product of a function and its derivative is to be integrated. Means symbolically, we are given f of x multiplied by f dash x dx. This kind of situation. Means a function and its derivative, both of them are multiplied together and we are required to go for integration of this product. Okay. So that will be the case second. And case third will be, in place of writing the product, I will be writing the quotient. Okay. I will be writing the quotient. I am writing that thing on the top so that you all can see easily. Case 3, when quotient of derivative to function is integrated. Means this type of function, when we are given f dash x divided by f of x dx. So quotient of derivative to the function means derivative we are writing in the numerator and function we are writing in the denominator. Okay. So this is the third case when we are going to use the integration by substitution. And moreover, what is the most important thing which everybody should keep in mind? Substitution is used to convert given function in the standard integrable form. This is the gist of the process of integration by substitution. Which basically we are using the substitution only for this purpose, so that whatever question is given, that question can be converted in the standard integrable function. Standard integrable function, that means those functions which you are memorizing as the formula. As I have written integration of sin x is equal to minus cos x. So this was a standard function. The standard function, that means the function of x. There is only one mathematical operation which is performed on the variable. Okay. So those functions I am calling as standard functions. Okay. So basic aim will be to convert the given question in the standard integrable form. Integrable form, that means those formulae whose integration is known to you. And I am taking it for granted, students, that you are already memorized, you already have memorized the formula of integration. That's first thing. And
Yes,
second thing, I am taking it for granted that all students, those who are attending my class today, you are all from English medium. Is there any student sitting in the class with Hindi medium? Students, your answer please. Is there any child sitting in the class with a Hindi medium? If not, then we can continue with the conversation in English only. Okay. So this is the most important thing. Okay. So I am going to demonstrate how we are using the substitution to convert the given function in the standard integrable form. Okay. So see that please. Say I am writing the formula for integration of sin x is equal to minus cos x plus c, and this is the standard form. And this is the given integration of sin 2x. This I have to find out. Okay. So how shall I be converting this given function in the standard form? Okay. So the very first thing which should be there in your mind, say what is the difference between the standard form and this function which is given to you. So we shall try to understand the similarities also and differences also. What is the similarity over here? That on both of the variable quantities, okay, on variable quantity, similar type of function has been operated. So this is a similarity. This is the similarity. And what is the difference? What is the difference? That in the standard formula, the variable is x, and here in place of variable x, I am getting this quantity 2x. Means in place of getting the variable over here, I am getting the function of variable. Function of variable means some other operation has been already performed on the variable. Okay. So now I tell you one thing, that this is the standard formula. So we have to make all the situations as per this standard norm. Means over here, say one more thing I would like you all to understand properly. Suppose I write the formula integration of sin y along with dy. Means we are integrating sin y with respect to y. So I hope you all can realize that final answer will be minus cos y plus c. That means main thing is that in the integration, the variable is not so important. Variable is not so important because selection of the variable will affect only the variable present in the answer. Means if you are integrating the function of x, then in the answer also you will be getting some function of x. If you are integrating function of y, so you will be getting some quantity containing y in the answer. So this variable is not at all important. Okay. What is important? The function and the type of function which we are integrating, that is more important. Okay. So this type of thing can be imagined. Whatever functions or whatever standard formulae which we are knowing in terms of the variable x, we can transform the same formula in terms of some other variable also. Okay. Likewise, if I write e to the power x is equal to dx, sorry, e to the power x into dx is equal to e to the power x plus c. So what will be integration of e to the power t with respect to t? So this can be written in the form of e to the power t plus c. Only one thing we have to make sure, that the function which is present, sorry, the variable which is present in the function, the entire function should be integrated with respect to the same variable. Okay. Means if x was the variable present in the function, then integration should be performed with respect to x. If y is variable present in the function, then integration should be done with respect to y. If t is the variable present in the function, then integration should be done with respect to t. Under no circumstance this type of quantity you should write. Okay, that function is having the variable x, but we are attempting to integrate it with respect to some other variable y. So this type of scenario will never occur in integration. Okay, because integration was inverse or rather anti-derivative procedure. So derivative was also performed with respect to x. So integration also has to be performed with respect to x. Okay, so here function of x cannot be integrated with respect to any other variable. So this care has to be taken by everybody. So now my problem was, how should I integrate sine 2x dx? So first of all, integration of this function sine. What is the standard formula? So the standard formula I try to recall, sine x dx is equal to minus of cos x plus c. Correct? And so standard formula I could recall. Yes, that for this type of function, integration of this type of function, I am having the standard formula. So that I have recalled. What is the difference now? In place of this variable x, I am getting this particular variable 2x. So this is a difference. And now how this difference can be eradicated, how this difference can be removed from the function. As I said that integration of a function is more important. Variable present in the integration is not at all important. Whatever variable is present in the question, we shall be writing answer in terms of that variable only. Okay. So variable is not present, or sorry, variable is not important in comparison to the function. So here what I do, I just try to compare the these two quantities. Here I could see that in the standard function, what is the coefficient of x? This coefficient of x is 1. And what is the difference over here? That coefficient of x is other than 1. Okay, so this is the minute difference. So how to remove this minute difference? Means what I say that we are capable of integrating any function containing sine function, okay, provided the angle has got coefficient 1. Correct? Try to understand. We can integrate sine function provided the coefficient of the angle associated to sine function is 1. Likewise, if we are sine y, so sine function is associated to the variable y or angle y, and what is the coefficient of angle y? 1. So we can write that answer quickly. Okay. And why are we not able to write down the answer over here? Because the coefficient of angle, it is not equal to 1, but it is something other than 1. So this difference of given function and the standard function, this difference has to be removed. So for removal of this particular difference, what we are doing, we are using the substitution. 2x is equal to t. Okay. Now you see what is happening. That 2 times the variable x. This 2 times the variable x, I am trying to write it in terms of new variable t. Okay. So now when I substitute this one, when I replace 2x by writing t, then what will happen to this function? How will you read this function now? How will you read this function if 2x is assumed equal to t? Please give response, students. Please give response.
Sin t.
Yes, it will be read as sin t. Perfectly all right. And one more thing I would like to tell, that value of this integral, this value of the integral should be always written in terms of capital I. This is customary. Okay, this we have assumed that the value of the integral is equal to capital I. Okay, so here the function I becomes integration of sin t. And what will we write? Should we write dx over here?
No, sir.
As I said that this 2x is equal to t. This 2x is equal to t. So the function gets converted in the form of sin t. And what about this dx? This dx was the indicator that we are integrating with respect to x. And now there is no function containing x. Correct? Now you try to understand one thing that, okay, say when we differentiated the original function, when we differentiated, the differentiation took place with respect to x, and that's why here we are integrating also with respect to x. So now the rate of change, let me write this quantity d by dx, it was rate of change of some function with respect to x, and that rate of change of function was equal to sin 2x. Suppose this was the situation. Okay, means when we try to differentiate some function and we get the answer is equal to sine 2x, then only integration of sine 2x with respect to x will be equal to this function. Okay, so now you try to understand one thing, that this function what I am going to write over here, this function what I am going to write over here, okay, if it is the function of function, that has to be function of function. Okay, so now see one thing, that this original function, since it was differentiated with respect to x, so integration also has to be performed with respect to x. But now when I have replaced the variable 2x by new variable t, so what should I do now? Okay, here this was the rate of change of function with respect to x. So I will have to now find out the rate of change of function with respect to t also. Okay, so this function 2x is equal to t, the substitution 2x is equal to t, we differentiate with respect to x. We differentiate with respect to x. So what is the derivative of 2x? Let us write it in this manner. D by dx of 2x is equal to d by dx of t. D by dx of 2x is equal to d by dx of t. Why this d by dx? You understand that thing. This d by dx is because of this reason. Okay. So what is the derivative of 2x? So derivative of 2x will be equal to 2. So 2 is equal to dt by dx. Okay. Means if I cross multiply, I try to write twice of dx is equal to dt. And this dx can be assumed as the change in the variable x. When you read the symbol d by dx, when you read the symbol d by dx, or else for the moment, suppose if I write dy by dx, so you read the numerator as dy, that means change in y. Try to recall the definition of derivative from the physics, the physical definition of dy by dx. Dy, that means change in the dependent variable y, divided by dx, that means change in the variable x. So now you see one thing, that here dt by dx, that means rate of change of t with respect to x, that dt by dx it is equal to 2. So rate of change of t with respect to x is equal to 2. So with the help of this, we are calculating 2 times dx is equal to dt, and now we should calculate dx is equal to dt upon 2. Correct? That means change in x is equal to 1 by 2 times change in the variable t. Means if we follow this particular step, if we follow this substitution, dx has got the meaning change in the variable x. Correct? So now you see that we substituted 2x is equal to t, we converted the original function to sine t, and now this change in x also should be calculated in terms of variable t. So by differentiating the given function, given substitution, by differentiating the given substitution, we try to calculate the rate of change of x in terms of variable t. So dx is coming out equal to dt by 2. So this calculation, if you have understood, students, now I am again going to compare the standard thing with you all. This was the standard function, and now I am going to write down all these things for you. I know sine 2x, after following the substitution 2x is equal to t, it could be written in the form of sine t multiplied by, in place of this dx, which was indicating the rate of change of x. Now rate of change of x was calculated in terms of rate of change of t, that is dt upon 2. So in place of writing this dx, I am going to write down dt divided by 2. And you know, any constant multiplied to the function or any constant dividing the function should be always taken out of integration or out of differentiation. Correct? So this 1 by 2 should be taken out of integration, and we are left with function like sine t dt, integration of sine t dt. And now you see that here, when we compare the original function sine of 2x, it was function of a function. and now it has been converted in the form of function of variable only, correct? And now if you are knowing that integration of sin x dx is equal to minus cos x plus c, and if you change the variable from x to t, what answer are we going to write for this? What will be the answer? I is equal to 1 by 2 times integration of sin t dt. In place of this variable x, if I everywhere write t, so answer also should be written in terms of variable t, and I am writing the answer is equal to minus of cos t plus c. Okay, so value of given function or integration of the given function is equal to minus 1 by 2 times cos of t plus c. And this variable t, it is introduced by me only, so I can replace the value of t by writing 2x. Okay, so value of final answer will be 1 by 2 times cos of 2x plus c, correct? So this is the integration of function of a function. And for you all, for your memorization, for your understanding, I will always tell you one thing, that if we are given the function of function to integrate, it is almost helpful to us to assume the innermost function is equal to t. Try to substitute the innermost function is equal to t. Okay, and the substitution will be worked out. Now what happens exactly? We are discussing that thing. I have discussed with you that there are 3 different cases in which the integration by substitution can work. So it was one of the places which I have shown you the use of integration by substitution. Other 2 cases also I am discussing with you all right now. Okay, and then after I shall be solving few more varieties of the questions. What was case 2? What was case 2? Can anybody recall? Can any student recall what was case 2?
Product of the function and its derivative.
Very true, very true, very true. So suppose if I write integration of product of sin x with cos x like this. Okay, integration of sin x with cos x. Or else if I write integration of what should I write? 2x into the bracket x square plus 1. Suppose if I write like this. Okay, so in that case, so what to do? What to do? So first of all, this is the product of f of x with f dash x. This is the scenario. In all such cases, we are required to go for substitution. F of x is equal to t. Okay, we are required to go for the substitution. F of x is equal to t. So now in the first case, whose derivative is present here is the question. Whether sin x derivative is present here or cos x derivative is present here. Please answer the question.
Both are the derivatives of each other.
Derivative of cos x is not there. You are required to go for certain manipulation, my dear. Okay. Even if it is a minus sign.
If I consider the positive sign, then the sin x derivative is present.
Yes, yes. Sin x derivative is present. Okay, I am not going for the manipulation. Okay, what you said that the derivative of cos x was minus sin x. That was present. Okay, and I could have written it in the form of minus 1 into minus sin x. Okay, means whatever you are saying, that is also right. I am not saying that is wrong, but this little manipulation was required. Okay, so first of all, to give the student the convenience, what I am expecting that first of all we identify what is the function whose derivative is multiplied without going for any manipulation. Okay, so you have identified that this is the function sin x whose derivative is present somewhere. Okay, so I write in all such cases, okay, we put the function f of x is equal to t. Okay, or else over here in this particular case we go for substitution of sin x is equal to t. Okay, so this process this process now of differentiation. First of all, substitution, we have identified that we are going to substitute sin x in terms of t, and what will happen to remaining things. So first step, we are thinking for the substitution, and before that, need of substitution. Why do we need the substitution? So that given function can be converted in the standard integrable form. This was the particular line which I wanted everybody should understand the meaning, and you should not hesitate if you have not understood the meaning of that particular line. Please ask, please ask. Otherwise, from my side, I am going to explain that thing again and again. There is no harm. Okay, see that thing. This is the function sin x into cos x dx. I went for the substitution sin x is equal to t, and then the procedure is we differentiate with respect to x. We differentiate the given function with respect to x. So derivative of sin x, d by dx of sin x is equal to d by dx of t, or we can write RHS as dt by dx. So that we write cos x is equal to dt upon dx. Okay, or else we write cos x multiplied by dx is equal to dt. Here what I would like to say, when you substitute something, after substitution, when you differentiate something, after differentiation, you should develop one habit of writing one variable on one side of the equation and other variable on the other side of the equation. Means you should be in the position to separate the variables. Okay, it was a combination of two variables. Okay, like that. When you differentiated over here, so right hand side became dt by dx. So old variable also was present x, and new variable t is also present. So it is a combination of both the variables. So we are required to segregate them. We write that old variable and function containing old variable on one side of the equation, and other side we write other variable. Okay. So now you see that what are we going to write for cos x into dx? Say for this function sin x, you have imagined t. What are you going to write for cos x dx?
dt.
What are you going to write for cos x into dx? So as per this calculation, cos x into dx is equal to dt. Okay. So that in place of this quantity, what are we going to write down? Only dt. And then you see, after following this particular procedure, the original question becomes integration of, in place of sin x, as I said, I am writing t, and in place of cos x dx, I am going to write down the value dt. So this is, and now you see that this was integration of a standard function. The standard function, that means only one function was given to you. Okay, and you can write the integration of this one. What is the integration of t to the power 1?
T square by
T square by 2. Okay, means standard formula we can write, we can recall standard formula of x to the power n dx, that is equal to x to the power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus a constant quantity. Okay, so using that we get the answer like integration of t is equal to t square by 2 plus constant. And after writing the answer of integration, then finally you can again go for reverse substitution. That means you can substitute the value of t. So what is the value of t in this case? The value of t is equal to sin x. So we shall be writing this in the form of sin square x divided by 2 plus constant of integration. Correct? This is sin square x divided by 2. And one more thing I would like to discuss, by chance it so had happened, my dear students, that the example which I took over here, this example is such a beautiful example. It will probably help you to understand the meaning of integration, why it is indefinite. You must have paid attention that we are solving indefinite integral. You must have seen that indefinite word is written over here. Indefinite integral calculus. Okay, so this word indefinite, where from that word indefinite came? So in last class of mine, I did comment one thing. Integration only is that particular branch of mathematics in which there can be more than one correct answer of the problem. I repeat, there can be more than one correct answers of the problem. Okay. And this example, what I shared with you all, that example is going to prove that. Okay. So let me write in the margin. I have integrated sin x into cos x dx. And what answer did I write for this? Can you recall the answer, please? Children, we integrated this function, and what last line as the answer we have written? Can you repeat that line, please?
Sin square x by 2 plus c.
With minus sign or with plus sign? With plus sign only, na? It was sin square
Yes,
x divided by 2 plus a constant of integration. Okay, this was our answer. Correct? Now you see that why I am saying that this integration is indefinite, because not only this as the answer, this is the correct answer of the problem, but sometimes depending upon the method of our solving, okay, we can get some other variety of the answer also, and that answer also sets true. I will verify that thing. Okay, so I am going to solve this question once again for you. I am writing this sin x into cos x to dx. Correct? I am writing sin x into cos x into dx, and as one of the students said that if I assume cos x as the variable t now, in previous method I have written sin x as the variable t, and here this time I am writing cos x is equal to t. Suppose if this is the variable, then what happens? Differentiate with respect to x, differentiate with respect to x. So derivative of cos x will be equal to minus sin x, and here derivative of t will become dt by dx. And as I said that we are required to write the quantities of one variable on one side and other variable of other side. Okay, so we shall be writing this in the form of minus sin x dx is equal to dt, or we write sin x dx is equal to minus dt. And in that case, now this question becomes, suppose if I is the value of this function, integral of sin x into cos x, and if I follow this substitutions, in place of cos x, I am going to write down t. So here I have written t into, in place of product sin x into dx, this is the product of sin x with dx. Okay, so here sin x into dx has got the value minus of dt. So here I am multiplying it by minus of dt. Okay, if I take out minus sign out, I will be able to write down I is equal to minus of integration of t dt. And if I integrate this, I will be getting minus of t square by 2 plus c. And I am going to write I is equal to minus of cos square x divided by 2 plus c. Correct? Means the same question, I am going to get the second answer as minus cos square x by 2. So here I am going to get minus of cos square x by 2 plus c. This is also a correct answer. How can you check that whatever answers I am writing, all of them are correct or not? So verification work can be done. Whatever answer we get, if we differentiate that particular answer, okay, we should get the original question. Okay, this is the way of verification that our answer is 100% perfect or not. If we differentiate our answer, then after differentiation we should get the original question. Okay, so I will be verifying this thing. All these answers what I'm going to write for you, I will verify all of them for you. Okay, but there is one more way of solving the same question is left with me. So I am writing that. So second method also is okay. So I delete this one now. Suppose if I go for little manipulation, what answer, what I am doing is that multiplying this function by 2 and dividing this function by 2. correct? So multiplication by 2 and division by 2, that always can be performed. So I write this 1 by 2 outside, this denominator 2, this has been written outside the integration, and in the numerator 2 sin x into cos x. So 2 sin x into cos x can be written in the form of sin 2x. You know the standard formula. Okay. So that now multiplication of 2, division of 2, it has converted the given question in the form of 1 by 2 times integration of sin 2x dx. And now you see this situation, it is function of function. It was the first case which I have solved for you today, and by chance again I am going to get the same function here. By chance, it is only by chance. Okay, so here the standard thing what student should keep in mind, the innermost function should be always imagined as substitution. Take it for granted. Whenever you are trying to integrate the function of a function, the innermost function, you try to put that as a substitution. Okay, so here I go for substitution. 2x is equal to t, suppose I write z. Okay, so many times so variable t has been utilized, so just change of place. 2x is equal to z. Okay, after going for this substitution, then we differentiate with respect to. Now after writing this, previously I had been writing that this substitution is to be differentiated with respect to old variable. I don't know whether everybody has noticed that thing or not, but this time, as I said, that I am going to change that thing. So in place of differentiating it with respect to old variable, I am differentiating it with respect to new variable z. And I will tell you that even if you differentiate that with respect to old variable, there will be no change in the further answer. Answer remains same. Okay, so there should not be a question in your mind after following the particular substitution what to do next with respect to which variable should be differentiated. So my answer is, if you have identified the substitution to be used for the question, that substitution can be differentiated with respect to any variable, with respect to old variable also, or with respect to new variable also. There is no change in the final answer. Final answer is going to be the same. So here I am differentiating it with respect to new variable. So 2 is a constant out of differentiation. Derivative of x with respect to z. What should I write on the left hand side? Your answer. This is your answer, students.
x by dz equals
I should write dx by dz. Perfectly all right. Is equal to right hand side derivative of z with respect to z. What should I write?
1.
1. Okay. And now, as I said that this is a combination of new variable and old variable both. So segregate or separate both the variables now. So one side you shall be writing the quantity containing old variable, and other side you should try to write down the quantity containing new variable. So you can write that in the form of 2 times dx is equal to dz. And with the help of this, you try to get the value of dx is equal to dz upon 2. Okay. So here, now this function, after following all these steps, the value of the integral becomes 1 by 2 times integration of, as I said that innermost function we are writing z. So this function remains same. So here I am going to write down sine. In place of 2x, I have assumed the variable z. So I am writing sine z multiplied by, in place of dx, what should I write? dz upon 2. So I am going to write down dz upon 2. And mind it well, students, before you integrate, you should make sure that the function, whatever variable it is contained with the function, you are integrating with respect to the same variable. That means the variable associated with this function and the variable with respect to whom you are integrating, these two variables have to be exactly same. They should not be different in any case. Okay. So here, now this becomes integration of 1 by 2 times sine z into dz by 2. So I write this quantity in the form of 1 by 4 times minus of cos 2x. Sorry, cos z. Integration of sine z is equal to minus cos z, that you know. So I am going to write down this. And finally, in place of variable z, I am going to write down the answer in terms of x. So I'm writing z is equal to 2x. So I'm going to get minus 1/4 times cos of 2x plus. Correct. So this answer also I'm writing in front of you. Minus 1/4 times cos of 2x plus. This is the third answer for me. Okay. There was only one question, integration of sin x into cos x, and I have provided you 3 different answers. And you should trust, you should believe that the method what we have followed, it is perfectly logical, perfectly logical. So how to verify that even if it is logical, but we have committed some mistake or we have not at all committed any mistake, how to verify that thing? So whatever answer after integration we are getting, if we could differentiate that particular answer, and after differentiating that answer, if we get the original question, means function which is in the question. So function involved in the question was sin x into cos x. So if we differentiate this, and if we get the final answer as sin x into cos x, then all these answers are correct. I am going to verify that thing also for you. And right now, this was a perfect example which shows that integral calculus is indefinite in nature. Indefinite in nature, that means there can be more than one correct answers to the problem.
Sir, but I have a doubt.
Pardon, friend?
I have a doubt, sir.
What is the doubt?
So like if I equate the sin square x by 2 with any of the other two answers, that is minus cos square x by 2 or minus cos 2x by 4.
Yes.
And if I want to remove square root, and we will get an imaginary answer. Two imaginary answers.
No. What is happening? I tell you one thing. I'm telling one thing. Okay. Try to think one more thing. By chance, do you remember how means at how many places at the same time the artificial fiber nylon was invented? Can you recall this small question of general knowledge?
No, sir, I don't know about nylon, but some discoveries I know.
No, you can recall. I'm giving you the help. Okay, I'm extending the help. Say nylon. If you go for spelling, NY stands for New York and LON stands for London. Correct? And this is the fact, my dear. This fiber simultaneously was invented by two different chemists in two different positions. One was New York and one was London. That means USA and UK. Simultaneously, two different people, they have started working on the project, and by chance they got the same answer. Correct? So who should be given the credit? This is the question. So both the scientists, okay? And likewise over here also, here these three answers what we are going to get, all of them are answers for the integration. I am not saying that one function is equal to another or second function is equal to the third one. I never am saying like that. These functions are entirely different. Okay, and that's why when you are trying to perform some additional operation on them, you are performing some other operation on this answer, taking a square root. So taking a square root of this one, taking a square root of this one, okay, results will be different. Are you understanding what is going on? We are not having or we are not raising any doubt on the existence of these three functions as an answer to the question of integration. But these three functions, if you wanted to deal separately with these three functions and you wanted to perform some other operation on them apart from differentiation or integration, okay, then it's not possible or it's not guaranteed that that particular operation will give you the same output. Okay, so these functions, I'm not saying that all of them are same. These functions are different from each other. They are totally different from each other. Their domains are different. Whatever answers I am writing, those answers are different. Okay, so you should not think it in that manner that if you take square root of the first answer, then something happens. If you take the square root of the second and third answer, okay, then you are going to get imaginary quantity. Yes, perfectly fine. Means operation of square root. This operation whether can be performed on the answer or not. When we are discussing the integration, this particular thing, it is out of our thinking process. We should not think it in that way. Sorry, students.
But sir, even in relations and functions, what we did for proving a relation to be transitive. So we used to do the thing, na, if A equals B, B equals C, then A is equals to C. A is ought to be.
No, provided there is the same relationship between A, B and C. Are you understanding? A related to B means whatever was the relation between A and B, same relation should happen between A and C, sorry, B and C. Correct? So when we are talking about functions, so on variable X, here we are performing different functions. So even that ground you cannot discuss on that particular ground also. Because function is a kind of relation. Function is a special kind of relation. Okay, so when you are thinking about relation, so transitivity, you can think, but provided you should be dealing with exactly one type of relation. Here, three different relations are there. So you cannot compare on that ground also.
Means we did manipulation, hence the answers which we got. So they are different because of manipulations.
Yes. Because the method what we have adopted, those methods were different. That's why we got different answers. Okay, our imagination was different. We used different substitutions, so our answer is different. But whether we are getting all of them correctly or not, that I am going to prove right now. Okay. So just wanted to prove that these answers what I have written, those answers, they are all correct answer or not. So I am differentiating the first answer, d by dx of sine square x by 2. Suppose if I differentiate. So differentiation of sine square x by 2. So this derivative 1 by 2, the constant quantity should be taken out of differentiation. So I have taken it out of differentiation. Then sine square x. So first the highest power of the trigonometric function should be differentiated. So I should try to write down 2 times sine x. After differentiating this power, now sine x is left. So derivative of sine x is equal to cos x. That has been written by me. And this is plus. So plus derivative of a constant is equal to 0. So I am writing derivative of this constant c is equal to 0. So 1 by 2 multiplied by 2 into sin x into cos x. So cancellation of 2 also takes place. And finally, what answer are we getting? Sin x into cos x. That means the original question, whose integration we wrote like sin square x by 2 plus c. So this shows that our answer sin square x by 2 is correct answer. Suppose if we now try to go for derivative of the other function, d by dx of minus cos square x by 4. Sorry, minus cos square x by 2 plus c. So this minus 1 by 2 is the constant we are writing outside the differentiation. Cos square x. So derivative of the power, that gives you 2 cos x multiplied by. After differentiating this power, we are differentiating the cos function also. So derivative of cos function will be equal to minus sin x. We are writing that plus derivative of constant is equal to 0. 2 got cancelled. Minus 1 into minus these two quantities of negative sign. When they got multiplied, we are finally left with the product like cos x into sin x. Which it is again same. And likewise, the third answer also you can go for that. Okay. So in that case, you will be able to see that all three answers what we have written, they are giving the derivative equal to sin x into cos x. So all of the answers, they are correct. And this is giving you the indefinite nature of the integral calculus. Now students, on this integration by substitutions, we are required to go for practice questions. Okay, so I am also solving the questions with the help of some of the standard questions also. Suppose if I solve the first question for you.
Excuse me, sir.
Upon x square plus a square. This is the standard formula also, which you might have memorized, like 1 by a into tan inverse of x by a plus constant. Correct? So how did we get this particular answer? 1 by a into tan inverse x upon a. So this standard question also, formula also I am deriving for you. This formula can also be derived with the help of integration by substitution. Okay. So I go for the substitution. X is equal to a tan theta. Suppose I substitute x is equal to a into tan theta. So here you see that previously whatever questions we have solved, in that case we have in one substitution we have written 2x is equal to t, means algebraic variable was replaced by algebraic variable. This is algebraic replaced by trigonometric function. And in some of the cases when we wrote sin x is equal to t, so trigonometric function was replaced by algebraic variable. So this type of things you are required to keep in mind sometimes. If I write x is equal to a into tan theta, I differentiate with respect to theta. So dx by d theta is equal to a is a constant quantity, you would take it out, and derivative of tan theta will be equal to sec square theta. Okay. So here I will ask you to write dx upon d theta is equal, dx is equal to a sec square theta into d. So suppose if I write the value of x is equal to a tan theta, and I write the value of dx is equal to a into sec square theta d theta, what happens to the original question? Let us see that. So in place of writing this dx, what should we write? A into sec square theta into d theta. A into sec square theta into d theta. Divided by x square. This is x square. So I can write a square tan square theta plus a square. So plus a square. Okay. This is equal to a into sec square theta d theta divided by, if you take out a square common from denominator, you are going to write down tan square theta plus 1. Okay. And this a and this a square, these two quantities can cancel each other, and we are left with 1 upon a. And this 1 upon a being the constant quantity, I am writing out of integration. Okay. So cancellation of a, now I am showing, and 1 plus tan square theta, this is also sec square theta. So numerator, this sec square theta d theta I am writing, and denominator 1 plus tan square theta will be equal to sec square theta, and even this quantity will get cancelled and we are left with 1. Okay. So now you see that this function I is equal to integration of 1 by a was outside, integration of 1 with respect to theta. So now we should write 1 is equal to I is equal to 1 by a into, we should write the answer is equal to theta plus. Do you know how integration of 1 with respect to theta will be equal to theta? One small line which I did not write, I am writing that thing now for you. I can write that in the form of theta to the power 0. You know, some non-zero term to the power 0, it is having the value equal to 1. So in that case now, in place of writing 1, I can write it theta to the power 0. And now x to the power n formula for integration can be utilized. x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So here I can write theta to the power 0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. That is, we are going to get the answer is equal to theta. And what is the value of theta in terms of old variable? So if x is equal to 8 tan theta, so go for x is equal to 8 tan theta. This will give you ax by a is equal to tan theta. And even to remove this tan function, we are required to perform inverse trigonometric function like tan inverse. So tan inverse x upon a will be equal to theta. Correct? So in place of writing this answer theta, we are required to write tan inverse x upon a. Tan inverse of x upon a. Yes, we all can see the things properly. Yes. So value of this integral will be 1 by a into tan inverse x upon a plus constant. Correct? So this was the derivation of one of the standard result also for you. And with a very specific purpose, I have discussed this derivation of the formula with you, because today I am going to find out solution of few more questions which are based on the application of this type of formula. Okay. I just check what is the condition. Students, in indefinite integral, there are few formulae which are known as special integrals. There are some standard functions which are known as special integrals, and those special integrals are there in your syllabus. So there are 9 such formulae or 9 such standard functions which are there in your syllabus. So let me write the formula also for all those 9 functions. And why are they important? That gradually you will understand. Gradually you will understand. Okay. So first formula, what I was writing, that I have already derived for you, dx upon x square plus a square. This is equal to 1 by a into tan inverse x upon a plus constant. Okay. The second formula, dx upon x square minus a square is equal to 1 by 2a into log of x minus a upon x plus a plus a constant quantity. Okay. Third formula is integration of dx upon a square minus x square is equal to 1 by 2a log of a plus x divided by a minus x plus c. And now you see one thing, students, that left hand side, whatever questions I am writing, these questions have got only a minute difference in them, but the answers what I am writing, those answers have got a big difference in them. Please pay attention on all these things. Why they are special integrals? Because of this reason. Okay, that when you are simply changing a positive sign to negative sign like this, okay, the complete answer changes. You can see that here tan inverse function is operated in the answer, and here log function is operated. Okay, so this small differences you are required to pay attention also, and equally you should take memorization of this formula as per a top priority. You should give top priority for the memorization of all this formula. I will give you one more example. One more example I will give you tomorrow in the morning. Fourth question, fourth formula is dx upon under root of x square plus a square. It is equal to log of x plus under root of x square plus a square plus a constant quantity. Fifth formula, integration of dx upon under root of x square minus a square. This will be equal to log of x plus under root of x square minus a square plus a constant. Sixth formula, dx upon under root of a square minus x square is equal to sine inverse of x upon a plus constant. I request all of you to please write this 6 formulae. Please write. And then 3 more formulae I am going to write down. And I will be sharing the technique of memorizing those longest formulae. These are having single term expressions as the answer. But now those 3 formulae which I would like to write on the board, I will make you to observe the similarity in the formula, and according to that you will be able to memorize the correct answer for them. Okay, so please write this 6 formulae and tell me so that I will be able to clean this formula, because those 3 formula I will write in the same line or at the same time on the board. Have you copied? Have you copied formally? I hope there is no other person in the class right now. Tanvir bhai, hello.